In the months that followed his coronation, Alistair proved to be a popular king, if largely unwilling to involve himself in matters of governing. He travelled often, making appearances in towns throughout Ferelden to the great delight of the commoners. They referred to him as a king with a common touch, even if few knew it was a simple aversion to a life at court. Rumors that the urn of sacred ashes had been found, and was used to heal Arleman of his poisoning, circulated in Ferelden in the months following the Darkspawn defeat, slowly at first, and then with growing frequency as the Grand Cleric failed to deny them. Once the chanter made several attempts to verify the rumors, however, there came an official decree that no resting place for the ashes had been found. If the urn of sacred ashes was in those ruins once, it was no longer. Following the months of effort, the Tower of the Circle of Magi was finally cleansed of the last spirits to slip through the veil. No further abominations were created, and First Enchanter Irving was pleased to declare the circle safe. All that could be saved had been. With the slavers shut down in the alienage, a lot of the city-born elves improved for a time. The new king even named the local elder to his personal court, a scandal amongst the humans, but a sign of new hope to the elves. Shiani continued to be an outspoken member of the alienage community, and in time became the new elder. That outspokenness earned her frequent trouble, but served her people well. Arleman remained in Denerim for some time, acting as the Chancellor and chief advisor to King Alistair. Tegan ruled over Redcliffe in his stead, and was surprised to find himself well loved by the villagers, who were still grateful for the nights he spent defending their lives. In time, Eamon abdicated in favor of his brother, an event the locals greeted with approval and enthusiasm. The Dalish elves prospered after the siege at Denerim, having earned much respect for their part in the battle. For once, human lands welcomed the wandering folk. The new keeper, Helenia, was respected both amongst the Dalish as well as in the Ferelden court. She was a voice of reason, and other Dalish clans would turn to her to help resolve disputes with human folk. In time, many of the Dalish clans moved to the new land provided for them in the south near Ostagar. Weary of their human neighbors, however, tensions soon rose again, and only Keeper Lenia's leadership kept peace alive. In Orzammar, King Balin quickly proved himself a reformer. Trade with the surface lands increased and caste restrictions were loosened. The casteless were permitted to take arms against the Darkspawn in exchange for new freedoms. For the first time in generations, the line of the Deep Rose was pushed back, and a few tykes were reclaimed. Balin's reforms quickly found him enemies within the warrior and noble castes, however, and after several assassination attempts, the assembly was dissolved. The king then ruled alone, some said as a tyrant, others said as a visionary determined to drag Orzammar into the modern world. The dwarven mage, Dagna, ultimately completed her studies at the rebuilt Circle Tower on the surface. Eventually, she published a comprehensive theory of how lyrium vapors relate to the supply of magic. It gained a great deal of attention. This inspired mages from other parts of Thedas to establish a new circle of magi in Orzammar itself, one that had ready access to dwarven lyrium, and lies outside the Chantry's power completely. The willingness of Orzammar to harbor apostates sparked outrage that began whispers that the Divine was contemplating a new exalted march. Although the Anvil of the Void was destroyed, rumors about its location crept into Orzammar. Years later, thanks to the defeat of the Darkspawn on the surface, a few determined smiths managed to locate the Anvil's remains. They examined the ruins of the Anvil, and, upon returning to Orzammar with their findings, convinced the Shaper to attempt to recreate Caradon's research. A new golem was created, bound with a spirit taken from the Fade. The golem immediately went insane, killing several Shapers before it was destroyed. The research was branded excessively dangerous and sealed away. Whispers of its existence circulated throughout Orzammar, however, and the man among the Smith caste to reopen Carradon's research refused to obey. As good as her word, Morrigan disappeared once the archdemon was slain. Someone of Morrigan's description was seen traveling alone months later, heading west through the Frostback Mountains. She may even have been with a child. The ring that Morrigan gave Nathan remained in his possession. She had once claimed that it formed a connection between the two, and there came a night when he was sure that she was thinking of him. Somewhere, she felt regret and sorrow, but the ring told no more. There was no word of her after that. With Flemeth dead, or at least gone, the chances of tracking her down were slim indeed. One cannot help but wonder, however, what became of the child? What were Morrigan's plans? These questions must remain a mystery. For now. Both Nathan and the companions who'd helped defeat the Blight eventually scattered to the four winds. Drawn either by personal duty or the call to further adventure, circumstance dictated that they would not see each other again, at least for a time. As the blighted lands began to heal and the Grey Warden slowly rebuilt the Order in Amaranthine, they discovered that the fight against the Darkspawn was not yet complete. Although the Horde was routed and had dissolved upon the Archdemon's death, many of the more powerful Darkspawn survived to organize roving war bands that preyed both upon the land and upon each other. These warbands spread havoc, and some even journeyed west into Orlais, or crossed the Shining Sea by the deep roads. They proved incredibly difficult to wipe out. But these are tales yet to be told. This tale ended when Nathan sank his blade into the Archdemon's head and destroyed it forever. It was not the last Ferelden would hear of him, however.